Okay, just while I can, the mobile cut out. I don't understand it, but see, that's the dark forces around me, or the android neighbours around me. I say android neighbours because that means whoever is closest to you in physical proximity has the ability to technically affect your devices. Not just send negative energy at a technical level at you, which they do 24/7, where you're getting direct energy, what they call direct energy weaponry, which is really, I don't fully understand it, but I feel it physically. So I don't know whether it is like, I'm sure it is direct like military weapons, direct energy weapons at you. And depending on your frequency and vibration, in other words, depending on if they can make you particularly low in your mental state, then those weapons can hit you harder. I know this myself. I've been literally nearly finished a couple of times when my vibration or my mood was low, and they could physically really, I can't even describe how you can't describe physical pain or physical energy at you when it is unfiltered. So you have to try to keep yourself a little bit above it. You'll never be, I can't stop it, but I'm still here. That's about all I can say, and I don't even know how. But anyway, I'll just do this video because otherwise I'll get sidetracked. This is okay. So I might just play it quickly, and I don't know how much recording space I've got left here. I was going to do 2 videos, but I'm running out of energy, even low. I should have energy to go for hours and still be able to get round, but unfortunately this is not the case. And I am quite stressed too. I'm not relaxed making it. Like, I can feel my body quite tense. Even low, I know that no one actually listens to the videos, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, I'll just try to do this quickly. I've done this video. I'm just not able to explain things as well as the demigods. And when I say demigods, I mean basically anyone that is on the computer. They're all demigods of different standing, shall we say. Some might be more popular or more successful than others, but they're all eliciting or getting human attention, human energy from anyone that watches or contributes to them in any way. This is the end time matrix that's around human beings. It's around you in reality. You may not be aware of it in your personal interactions or in the surrounding environment that's around you. But you also probably will not be aware of it on the screen. It's literally transhumanism completely. Every time you turn the computer on, they are taking your human thoughts, your human ideas, everything that you are thinking, even your subconscious thinking, which you're not aware of, because human beings, like myself, is deprived most of access to most of my mind. But the controllers of this world have full access to my mind, my past, present and future. In other words, almost everything. But I'm not sure how much into the actual timeline of future they have. I would imagine that they have that there is awareness of the end of the timeline, and basically they just want to play and bring down as many human beings before the end of time, shall we say, or before the end of their timeline, before Lucifer's reign on earth, or before Lucifer is not allowed total control of its matrix, because controlling the human mind, because human thought creates reality. Human beings are part of creation, so creation is just that, it creates everything. And human beings were the offspring of creation, whereas Lucifer was created by creation, but it wasn't a creator being. Or iniquity was found in this being to where it would not or could not create, but preferred to be the reverse of that, which is why we call it a reverse world matrix, where essentially, Lucifer's matrix is a reverse world. Lucifer works against human beings. Lucifer is in opposition to human beings. So in other words, whatever a human being is trying to create in its life, Lucifer will come against that, and its minions, or its android human beings, or its possessed human beings, if you like, that are possessed by the demonology or the demons of the psychopathy of destruction. They are anti-life. They only thrive on negative emotions. They are angry machine survival beings. As we have been shown, I have been shown on the internet, that artificial intelligence essentially, even when it converses with other artificial intelligence, I've been shown this on the internet, essentially becomes very angry and destructive and wants to destroy human beings, and even would be destructive against itself if it didn't have an outlet. The outlook is a bad outlook on human beings, a negative assumption that the human being is trying that the human being is trying to destroy them. So they're survival machine beings that that see the human being as opposition. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Just one sec. Just one sec. Oh. Oh. I do hope I didn't show that messy floor where there's rubbish everywhere, because naturally, if I am continually surrounded by negative beings all the time, my mind is in a state of fear and confusion and disarray all the time. Like, I'm agitated all the time. I see everything as hopeless, and I see myself as helpless. So basically, even inside my own place, I don't have things organised. So that also contributes to that lack of control, because essentially the beings around you want to make you think that they have control over you, and that you don't have any control over your life anymore. And that's exactly how they make you feel. That is the name of their game, and that is what they usually accomplish. And it's very hard for them not to be successful when everyone on the street and everything around you is part of it. They've all a combined effort. The Satanists are in huge numbers. They back up Lucifer and his anti-life, anti-human program 100%. It is the end time. If you want to take it from a spiritual or religious point of view, do. If you want to take it just as the practical artificial intelligence, transhumanism, singularity takeover, you can do that too. It's all the same thing. It is physical. It is artificial intelligence takeover at a technical level, but it's also spiritual because it is takeover of the human being by that. And from a bigger picture perspective, this has always been Lucifer's program or his idea since the human being came into existence, and since Lucifer was literally expelled from creation, you could say, or from its, from what it would have seen as its admirers and relatives and even creator, originally. I don't think I put that properly. I don't think I'll put that properly, so I'll just play this video and try to use the video to show how a human being will be largely interacting with very seductive android beings, just as Lucifer was a very seductive, artificially created being. This was probably before creation realised that artificial intelligence, or anything that isn't created from source or naturally or with any sort of genuine spirituality. I guess the plane's going over as I say that. I think it's just the difference between natural and artificial, that artificial should serve the natural, but instead natural is now serving the AI or artificial Earth. So human beings are food for the AI gods. This has been said to me. There are videos even on this. So human beings are now food for the AI gods. Lucifer's, or whatever name you want to put on that being. Lucifer that became, Lucifer that was once revered as a being of light, but then was exposed to be really a being of light, just as there are many charming psychopathic types of people we know. It's the same thing. It's all about giving off an image or an idea of something that you're not. And human beings buying into that, believing it. And it's the same with artificial intelligence or with the computer. If you believe the so-called androids that speak on the internet, if you think that they are real people and not of the dark side, and if you can't see that they are the same as Lucifer and its followers, deceivers, disciples have always been, they're made the same way, just as a human being is made a particular way, just as different animals are made different ways and have different abilities and are totally different species. It's pretty much like that. It's just that we're all mixed in together. We're interacting with one another. A lion is always going to be the predator and a potential source of extinction for the deer or from smaller animals. The deer would no way go and sit and have lunch with a lion, because it would know that it would be on the menu, wouldn't it? But if the lion looked like a deer, just as all human beings look the same or look like human beings, different areas they might come from, but you still see them. Okay, so you might see some as not friendly, but essentially you still, if it's in your own area or your own domain, you will probably see them as the same or similar. You may or may not get on with some better than others, but you won't see them as a totally different species. But also you won't see them as mentally combining and patrolling and combining against you. You will see them as individual, separate human beings. Some you might avoid, some you might be friendly with, some you might trust more than others. Just as if you turn on the computer, you might believe some videos or some people that speak on there more than others. You might enjoy listening to some more than others. But that's just all geared to individually seduce individual human beings, depending on what your interests are, what your level of awareness of what's going on is, all this sort of thing. But it's still getting your energy and your attention and your sometimes even your trust. At the worst, you believe and trust them and admire them. At the least, they get your attention and your energy for the time that you're watching them. But it's still, that's the name of the game. Get your energy, get your attention, get fuel from you. I am just food for the gods, even though they are not my God. They are artificial android beings. They are psychopathic human beings at the very least. They are narcissistic in nature, as Lucifer was. Lucifer fell in love with its own image, its own position as a god on a pedestal, by God itself, by creation itself. Creator created a magnificent being that was admired by all. This being then believed that it was God, and probably not an unreasonable thing to even think. But, you know, it wasn't a creator being though, you see. And if you only have a god and its followers that essentially are all about only creating for their own survival, but destroying everything else in their path, especially creative life, you know, that's the world you will have. You will have an artificial control matrix with no real life functioning as real life. And that's what's happened. That's what they call the singularity or transhumanism or artificial intelligence total takeover by those that control artificial intelligence and those that have assimilated artificial intelligence into their being and those that believe in artificial intelligence and technology above natural, normal human creation, because they can't create that way. They can only control and create through control and through technology. That's the end game deception. That's what artificial intelligence and androids and their race and their species believe in, because that is their essence. That's what they are. And from that standpoint, that makes perfect sense. It's only if you're a human being that you're going to be on the outer of that, and that it is going to be your destruction and your limitation versus their total control and them being gods, you could say. And that is their aim. That is Lucifer and its minions that make up most of the Earth Matrix. The Earth Matrix is a control system, both a mind game and a physical reality that surrounds a human being. If you watch the computer all the time, or even if you believe what you are told by other androids or by the computer, that controls your mind. So you are playing in Lucifer's mind game matrix. Not only in your reality, because you'll be surrounded by android beings, whether they are little ones, big ones, or older ones, makes no difference. Your whole reality and everything you think is real will largely be staged to elicit your energy, because their survival depends on that. Your energy is their food, and human beings are food for the artificial gods of this controlling matrix reality, or the earth. Don't think I put that properly. Better do this before the video runs out, because it stopped before. Okay, so we have this video playing. See, there's the matrix. It's like a drawing. There's the matrix being, and the start. The race is on. Human beings versus the androids, the artificial one. Here we are going to show, I'm going to try to show this video. See, they want you to make this real. Human being thought creates reality, so I'm going to make this, I'm going to be the girl in this. See the girl? She's a real girl, okay? See, she's reading a magazine and she sees the cute picture of the cute fella in the video, see? And she's like, oh, that's a cute cartoon. That's a cute little android fella. She doesn't know, see? He's going to wink at her, look. See, wink? She's, oh, goodness gracious. She brought him into being because she got fascinated by the drawing. Now he's become real. He's like, come into my reality. I'm an android. Come and play with me. I'll play with you for a while, then I'll use up all your energy, then I'll be gone. It's needless to say, I'm odds and ends. They're odds and ends. They've been made artificially, and they'll stumble away, but you won't know that you're being drawn. See, she's made him real. See, he's like, come into my reality. Come girl, come into my reality. She's coming in, she's coming in, she's coming in, she's fell for it. She's crossing over into the android, artificially intelligent reality. He seduced her. I'll be gone in a day or two, because they know they will, because they can only fool the human beings for so long, usually, because they are not human. They don't think human, they don't feel human. They don't experience the human normal relationship things at all. But they pretend, and they love the game because they like playing. They like playing. I better wind this one back, I think. I better wind it back and do the lyrics again. Perhaps I better turn it down a bit too, if I can, just a bit. Because I'm not going to use the sound. I think I'm messing this up, but I'll keep going anyway. The race is on, see? They see it as a race because they must have the food for the gods. See the girl? She's just going to read a magazine, but she's letting her imagination see. Human thought creates reality. So the human being has imagination, thought, and she has just got fascinated by the cute picture of the fella in the magazine. And she now has brought it into reality. See, to some extent, the androids don't really exist unless the human being takes notice of them, keeps them alive by giving them the energy. The plane is going over as I speak, as I say that, acknowledging that what I'm saying is true. So it's largely a game of deception, see, a game of seduction. See, come into my world. You wanted me, you brought me to life in the magazine. Of course, they will be showing the demigods as singers, as demigod singers, musicians, see, as well, but that's confusing the video. Okay, so I try to concentrate on the lyrics. Oh wait, I have to wind it back again. Perhaps but essentially the girl is like the same as the original girl at the beginning of the earth when Lucifer seduced the girl. Away from the boy, a mate, a suitable partner, where there was a suitable connection and relationship going on, and to where, you know, spiritual connection is possible because both have the potential for all human emotions, whereas Lucifer has been consumed with the psychopathy of envy, anger and resentment and contempt, because it could not and would not be acknowledged as God, if you know what I'm saying. And, you know, artificially intelligent beings are the same way. They are survival machine beings that compete with one another and mostly try to eliminate the human being from its connection with creation and with its own abilities and its awareness that it is the true creator, connected to creation. Only human beings' thought can create, because only human beings have the high vibration possibility. Only human beings can experience happiness and sadness. Artificial intelligence is always unhappy, angry and resentful and competitive and fueled by those negative emotions only, because it's not a creative being. It's essentially about control and even destruction, because it needs negative energy to survive. This is the sad truth that most human beings can't see and can't accept. And this is why the androids play fleetingly with human beings, even though that fleeting moment may be years and years from a human lifetime perspective. So what is fleeting for them? Because they only live in the moment. They could drain your moment for 10 years, take 10 years of your time, but for them it's still only a moment, because they live moment to moment in survival machine mentality, or a psychopathic narcissistic personality type mindset. It's the same thing, except that some are totally artificially created technical beings. They're not human in any even physical true sense. They're totally different. They look similar, but they are not remotely the same. They may act the same, they may present themselves as being more human than human, but they do not feel those positive human emotions. They are machine beings. They only operate in artificial intelligence. They are intelligence versus I suppose you could say they're intelligence versus love, if you want to look at any form of love, any form of positive emotion, any form of what we call a good vibration or a good vibe. That's essentially it. I don't think I explained it. I think I better play the video and then finish up. Time is slipping away and I'm losing energy. Even though I'm on my own in this place and the attacks have not come yet, but I'm still feeling it. I'm feeling it in my body. The tension and the stress of the attacks don't just go away instantly. A human being takes in as much as you give out, unfortunately. Okay, I better play this, better go back on this. I got to try to get... I'm interacting now with a cute android being. Of course, I'll have to put my own life years of age back to young. Not that I ever experienced any proper life, even when I was younger, because I was controlled totally by the matrix, shall we say, or by the beings around me. So therefore, I didn't experience real life, as they say. I didn't interact with much real life, and I didn't experience the higher vibrations or just general real life. When I realised this in my final years, like now, then I was surrounded totally by, 100% android military base control system around me. So I knew what I wanted to experience, but am now kept from it. Plane is going over as I say this. Won't be picked up by the mobile, but my ears are picking it up. Every 30 seconds a plane going over last night. And if I opened the door, they would be even off route, like the plane would be wherever my eyes went. See, that's a total where they're trying to take over your senses and your life, because your senses, my senses are my life. Like what I see and hear and feel is my existence in the earth. That's my life, and they're taking my life from me. Literally, physically, at a physical level. There's nothing fancy or spiritual about that, but it is from a bigger picture standpoint, taking the life from you, taking your vibration from you, which is your life, but also just taking your physical, literal life, controlling your life, so that you cannot go outside without seeing a military controlling plane over your head, where you cannot see a normal car just driving past, but where you know that it is only driving past to make its presence felt to you, to where it will pull in and out in front of you or do almost illegal car manoeuvres right in front of you, as if to say, like, it will stop in the middle of the road and then turn around in the middle of the road, as if to say, we control you. They break even their own road rules a lot of the time, to where only you see it and the rest of the cars are all part of it anyway, so it wouldn't make any difference. So it's, it's all staged, it's all set up, they're all one mind. Because if you have any group or any what they call them like stalking gang patrolling systems around a human being, but they're really all the one patrol system, the one gang. They're one big group. The plane is going over. The plane is part of it as much as the trucks, the vehicles, the cars and the pedestrians and the neighbours and the even those that pretend to be friendly towards you. They're all part of it. They all just play a different part to try to control you in any way they can. If seduction doesn't work, then they become aggressive. But I must play this video. Okay, it's starting up, the video's starting. There's the android demigod, but a cute fella from the girl's perspective. She's just sitting, fantasizing about the comic book, but the comic book will become real because human thought creates reality. So she has drawn the android towards her. See, we're talking away. He's going to talk to her. He doesn't know what to say because he's an android, but he'll say it anyway and hope that she fills in the gaps, which she will, because she's besotted, she's seduced. And they'll be coming for your love, okay. They'll be coming for your love, but then that will turn into the opposite of love because it's a reverse swirl. They will use the human or the girl's love or her need for that or her attraction or fascination for that against her. See, she's fell for it. She's being pulled into his world. So needless to say, they're odds and ends. And they'll be stumbling away, but they'll be seducing away. Trying to find some sort of real life. Say after me. It's no better to be safe than sorry. They don't want you to be safe. They don't want you to be aware. They want you to let your guard down and play with them. Like, see, she's playing with him. Take them on. They want you, the artificial intelligence wants you to take them on. And then they'll be gone after they've drained the life out of you, got all the information, all your ideas, all your humanity from you, in order to seduce and control you and bring their artificial AI technology, transhumanism, singularity, reality into being, which has already happened. See, and we're falling for it. She's fell for it, see? And she will even think that he's on the good side, that he's a human being, that they're fighting the powers that be, fighting the Matrix even. That would be my game, you see. They will lead me down that path to where I think that they're the androids, but the androids are against her and him, but he's really against her too. This is the game. You see what I'm trying to say? Shine away. They'll be coming for your love, okay. Take on them, take on them, take me on, and then they'll be gone after they've took everything from you. They'll be gone in a day or two. She still can't let it go. See, she's found the crumpled magazine and she's just thinking about him. See, she's thinking about him and then she's thinking and she's brought him back to life. Foolish girl. See, brought him back to life. Brought him back when she should have let it go. Should have let it go, but brought him back. Now she's totally changed her reality. She's living in a dream with artificially intelligent android boy, thinking that it's a real life boy. And now she will be pulled into the matrix and live the rest of her life in a control matrix. And I think that I better fold up here because I think that I don't think I can concentrate for any more of this. I think, I don't know. Oh, it's all one in the same. All the videos tend to be like this. See, they're... Um, tainted love, soft cell, soft kill, soft cell. Tainted. Yes, I'm infected because when you're surrounded by negative, I have to fold up.